Welcome back to another freshly squeezed episode. My name is Kelsey. I'm your host and cosmic coach. Freshly Squeezed is a podcast released every first of the month for your spiritual wellness. We will close the episode with a collective tarot reading at the end. Okay, let's get into the astrology of the month ahead. Welcome back. We made it to March. Oh my God. We made it to March. We begin the month with Mars recently stationed direct. Mars is the engine of the chart. It represents our action, our willpower, our drive, our ambition, the way we are moving forward. So when the planet that moves forward is in retrograde, you can see how that would be frustrating for that planet, right? How that collectively frustrates us that we can't move forward. We're emotionally frustrated because it's in the sign of Cancer, which is an emotional sign. Things have been really touchy and frustrating, especially on a collective landscape, emotionally, as well as in our personal lives. I'm sure you can see that energy reflecting back in your life in some way. Obviously, if you know your rising sign, then you can see what house Cancer is in your chart, and you'll be able to see where that emotional frustration has been festering. But the good news is that we are moving forward. We are looking to the future. Mars stationed direct, and because it's been going backwards, it needs some time to get warmed up before it can start really chugging along. And we're in that warm up phase right now. And we're so excited to get to the next place that we're ready to go to. We're ready to get in and drive, but we got to do this prep work. We got to let the engine, lubricate itself and get everything prepped and primed before we can go full steam ahead. And that's the period we're in right now, which is exciting because things are finally, we can hear the engine. Things are giving us hope. We can put that behind us. We can move forward with a greater emotional drive. We've made it through the first excruciating 2 months of 2025. Congratulations. You've graduated from Mars retrograde. Now get ready for Venus retrograde. Both Mercury and Venus will station retrograde in the month of March. Venus stations retrograde on March 1st, and Mercury will follow suit later on in the month, retracing their steps from the bold, fiery sign of Aries back into the mystic waters of Pisces. Mercury, planet of communication and correspondence, will move into the sign of Aries on March 3rd and station retrograde on March 15th, following Venus from the sign of Aries back into the sign of Pisces. With both Mercury and Venus stationed retrograde, there will be an introspective tone to our personal relationships and the way that we communicate within them. Use this period to reflect, review, refine, and redesign the way that you communicate and relate. When Venus and Mercury are retrograde, you can almost guarantee that some old relationship, some person you broke up with, or a friendship that you broke up with, or old neighborhood connection, or somebody from your past is going to be coming to the surface, coming back around, and inviting you to reevaluate the relationship. Because this is your future self with all this gained knowledge that you've acquired. If you've been following along and reading my Substack, you'll know that there's a lot of energy currently in Pisces. With so many planets piled up in Pisces, we're having a little bit of a Pisces party. Things are getting strange. Boundaries are being bent. The rules are being redefined. It's almost like a daisy, dreamlike situation. On March 14th, we will have our first total lunar eclipse of the season. As with all planetary cycles, There is a natural rhythm to the way the eclipses unfold. There will be a partial solar eclipse in the sign of Aries at the end of the month. It's a closeout eclipse or final exclamation point, wrapping things up from the eclipse cycle that we had in the previous 18 months on the Libra-Aries axis. We've now shifted into the Virgo-Pisces axis. Get ready for things to start getting juicy. Things will be sure to feel magical, fated, synchronistic, flat out freaky, and deja vu-like. Pay attention to the signs and little nudges from the universe right now. It's a really great time to pay attention to what your soul is whispering. It may even be shouting. On March 20th, the sun will move from the mystic sign of Pisces into the ambitious sign of Aries, ushering us into spring in the Northern Hemisphere. We will close out the month with a major planetary ingress when the outer planet Neptune moves into Aries. Make sure to subscribe to my Substack to get in-depth information about this transit. It's time to close this episode with a collective tarot reading. Since it's eclipse season, we're going to be doing things a little differently. If you have a deck, grab yours, and we're going to start shuffling. I'm going to invite you to take 3 deep breaths in with me. Ready? Close your eyes. Breathe in. Release. Breathe in. Now do your biggest breath on this last breath. Ready? Breathe in. And breathe out. Now normally we pull 1 card for the monthly medicine that we like to use as a reminder to realign our energy and ground ourselves in. Tarot is a wonderful way to tap into your own personal divinity and your intuition. It's just a tool for self-guidance and connection to spirit. So I encourage you to play around with your own deck. I'm going to pull 2 cards today to represent the North and the South node. You can check out more information about the nodes on my Substack, which I encourage you to do. You're going to get a lot of juicy information on what they represent, but in a nutshell, the North node is where we are being pulled or guided into during eclipse season. And the South node, which is always 180 degrees opposite of the North node, that's why it's on an axis of 2 sister signs, like Aries and Libra, and now Virgo and Pisces. But the South node is something that we are going to be releasing, shedding, letting go of, ending a cycle in. So the way I like to think about this is that you can't accept something with a closed fist. You need an open hand to receive. So the South node is something that we've outgrown, that we are leaving behind, that we are outgrowing, and using our wisdom, because the South node has a lot to do with our personal wisdom. And then the North node, like I said, is something we're growing into for the first time. It's something our soul is guiding us towards. It's like where the arrow of the compass is pointing us currently. So we're going to split the deck into 2 piles after we give it another good shuffle. And we're going to have 1 card on the right that will be the North node, what we're moving into, and 1 card on the left, which will be the South node, what we're letting go. and that'll be our reading. I hope you enjoy. Okay, I have my 2 piles. I'm going to flip over the North Node first. Ooh, the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. And now I'm going to pull the South Node card. The Emperor. Wow, this is very financially coded right away. This is giving finances, money, self-worth because of the suit of coins showing up, which is obviously financial, and with the Venus retrograde, that card being upside down, it's giving, and it's the number 3 has to do with Mercury as well, so that's giving Mercury retrograde stuff. So this North Node card is really interesting because it's a dark background and it's kind of a scarcity mindset, or it's very much to do with self-worth and how you are relating to others less fortunate than you. And also because it's turned upside down for this reading, I read this as an internal card of internal self-worth, or how much are you giving of yourself, or should you be giving more to yourself and pouring more self-love and resources and stability and worth into your solitude. So something to consider. I think this Venus retrograde is going to have a lot to do with the North Node and where we're headed. So that's just what I'm intuitively picking up with that card being so Venus retrograde coded. But anyways, the South Node is what we're going to need to let go of. And the South Node is a major arcana card. A major arcana card is a big deal when it gets pulled in a reading. It's saying, hey, pay attention to me. The Emperor is the king of all kings. He has a gray beard to show his wisdom, and his, fancy cloak with bedazzled jewels and everything shows that he is wealthy and stable and successful and very comfortable in his old age. He's held reign strongly and plans to continue doing so. The Emperor card has a lot of associations with Saturn in astrology. So this feels like a very karmic, major lesson that we are shedding about stability and long-term comfort. Again, this is really giving a lot of Venus energy. I love associating the Empress card with Venus energy, but I think the Emperor has a very complementary Saturnian quality to, those Venusian values, giving practical and reliable and the framework for real support and pleasure and comfort. There's a lot of self-respect with the Emperor card, so we might be, leveling up in our self-respect. So we're really moving into a lot of deep introspection about our shadows when it comes to self-worth and scarcity mindset. We're having a conversation with the way that we talk to ourselves and the way we relate to ourselves, the way we support and give to ourselves. Are we encouraging and uplifting our inner voice? There's something being a new inner path being woven, and it looks like it's going into the depths of our interior mind and our interior world to get through it. Really lean into this Venus and Mercury retrograde combination, because this card really is, because it's a 3, has to do with communication, and because it's reversed, it's giving internal communication. And then again, that suit of Pentacles has to do with our values and our resources, which has to do with the Venus retrograde. So I'm really getting the the hints strongly that we need to lean into this Venus retrograde. And the only way out is in, is deep within. So our financial success and our Self-worth can, the richness of our relationships can really grow if we choose to reevaluate during this month and do a lot of self-reflection on how we're showing up and how we're supported in our relationships. We're really letting go of an old chapter that we've earned in our self-worth, and it's time to level up. So I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I'll see you next month. Thank you for listening. I hope wherever you are, you're having a magical time.